receiving food aid. So whites are the biggest group receiving food aid, and the United States spends more on food aid for whites than for any other racial group.
Well, maybe Cuccinelli would say he wants to get rid of the food stamp program anyway. So.
He might say that.
I mean, so.
I think they're working on that.
Shalom, shalom. YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWADAH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and teach them well. Peace and salutations be told for the elect. And Brother Tazo, I'm coming at you from the province in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. All right, this lesson is going to be going into Edomites of America receive more food assistance than Jake does. Okay. In fact, I will go as far as to say the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom combined, judging by the charts here. Okay, so when we grab the charts, you'll be able to see that these demons that have put this personification upon Jake, welfare babies, food stamp babies, whatever. Okay. Just blatant bullshit, because they get the most and welfare and in food assistance, and and all the Edomite woman had to say about it when the guy made his claim about it. All the Edomite woman had to say about it is, well, Trump's going to cancel it anyway. So nobody wants to actually talk about that. This stigma and stain that you've been placing upon Jake, and these proverbs and bywords that you've been placing upon Jake, is actually flipping upon your own people. So these Edomites are being consumed by themselves. All right? They're dwindling in numbers. They're needing more help from the government than Jake is. Okay? So there's nothing worse than a two-time loser, a double loser. You're going to lose now, you're losing now, and you're going to lose in the kingdom. All right? So let's grab it. In the book of Genesis, it's like in Genesis. I'm looking for Obadiah. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So this is speaking to Esau, Edom, for their violence against Jacob. Okay, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. Esau gonna be ashamed, and he gonna be cut off forever. He gonna go extinct. All right, after 1,000 years of slavery. Okay, because of the things that they done upon Jacob. These Edomites, man. Okay, they done put all these negative words upon us, negative sayings, proverbs upon us. All right, made us to look like the filth of the earth. Okay, they hated upon us. All right, matter of fact, scripture says that too. These Edomites' hatred and jealousy is really the reason that we're in this situation in the first place. Wisdom of Solomon 2:24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. All right, so because this devil was envious of us and our blessings and how the Lord loved us, okay, he presented Eve with these heathenistic philosophies, these strange philosophies, to draw us away from our power, YAHAWASHI. All right. So here it is, these Edomites. Let's grab it. These Edomites have a perpetual hatred for us. Perpetual. So that they hope to dirty up the name of Israel. So long as they live, they hope to keep Israel's name dirty throughout the earth, and everybody mention us. They'll feel like they got a bad taste in their mouth. All right, they look at us like we're the peasants of the world, when really the Lord chose us above all the nations. on the face of the earth. Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So they had a perpetual hatred for us. Let's go into that definition of the word perpetual. It says never ending or changing. Okay. That's the second definition. Occurring repeatedly, so frequent as to seem endless and uninterrupted. Okay, so these devils have a never-ending and unchanging hatred for us. They can't. I was built in their system to hate us, man. Okay, so that's why they're always plotting on us, plotting on our downfall. They see Jake doing good, they want to ruin it somehow. All right. So Jake trying to come up, and they try to come up in the industry, or even in sports. Matter of fact, they got a new movie coming out called Him. All right, which I think I don't know if the main actor is the Edomite, but you can see the Jake in there, Marlon Wayans. All right, I'm just going to show you that they got Jake in the mix of all these sports. When you come into these sports, man, these devils are doing sorcery and witchcraft when you're in there too. All right, they want you to be there, pretty much like their bitch, man. Okay, well, you claim to be the boldest nigga out there, the biggest, the buffest. Well, it's no different from buck breaking on the plantation. Everybody that looked up to that one Jake on the plantation, okay, what did Master do? He had to buck break him in front of everybody. Okay, and feminize him, sodomize him in front of everybody, so that everybody can lose hope in him. And now they got no hope. I feel like they got no hope. And this man walking around all effeminate and twisting and shit, and all gentle now. Okay, these devils were very crafty in the things that they done to Jake, man. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahuwah, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, and it's not just the killing that they've done upon us, the enslavement that they've done upon us, but it's now the societal differences and economic differences, the economic oppression and societal oppression that they've placed upon us now that hardcore slavery has been more so secluded. I wouldn't say done away with, but secluded to the prison systems, because their constitution tells you that Jake is a free man. You're a free man so long as you don't commit a crime. Okay, so when you go into those prisons, slavery is running rampant again in there, and they don't let you they don't go in there and defend you or fight for you or help you out. You in there by yourself with a bunch of wolves. Okay, they'll come break up the fight after they don't. These inmates, these demonic inmates have bled you out all over the floor. They'll come and break up the fight after that, man. All right, which really those things are just judgment from the Lord Yahuwah. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and let's see. We'll start at verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. So these devils have reason within themselves to oppress the poor righteous man. Who? That's Jake, man. Okay? They want to oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. They don't care about the woman, the children, the elderly. None of that. As long as you Jake, they hate you. They hate your guts. They hate your hair. They hate your skin color. Okay? Because they can't have it. The Lord has cursed them from having these things. Okay? They used to have these features until that mark was put upon them. And they can't have these features ever again because they were envious of Jake. They were envious of the righteous. And then what happened? Cain slew Abel, and the Lord cursed him with that mark. Okay, that severe leprosy, where his eyes are blue, his hair is blonde, his skin looks like pale. Okay, or these devils ain't white. It's just different variations of pink. They call themselves white because when you hear the word white in the scriptures, you think of pure. Okay, So these devils have have used sorcery on their words and changing up the names of the nations. All right, which people are starting to wake up to these things. Scriptures say knowledge shall be increased. So people are starting to wake up to what Esau's been doing to us. Okay, but they played upon the words with sorcery and called them white and called us black. When you think about black, you think of evil, void, darkness, void of light. Okay, wickedness. When you think of white, you think of purity, holy, separate, righteous. All right, so this is all the play upon words that these devils have done. It was very deceitful. Okay, but the Lord is not hiding these things from his elect, man, from those that he chose, from his prophets. All right, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. Okay, it says law of justice, which they don't really practice justice. They practice their own type of justice according to the law of sin. Okay, it says, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So those that are weak, they said, is found to be nothing worth. They say we ain't worth nothing. Okay, those that are in poverty, they say we ain't worth nothing. All right, so it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. We're completely different from them, and they see that. That's why they hate us. And he is clean, contrary to our doings. They jealous. They can't bring themselves to do righteousness in the sight of YAHAWASHI. It's impossible for them. Who can make straight what the Lord hath made crooked? Okay. It says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressings of our education, because Esau is a vile man. He's very earthy. Okay, so he hasn't considered sacrificing for YAHAWASHI. That's why when Cain and Abel had to present sacrifices to the Lord, Cain brought the least of his sacrifices. Okay, but Abel brought the best of his sacrifices. Esau don't understand these things because they're so base. He said, man, why should I give the Lord the best of my sacrifices? And then I'm going to need it, you know? But Abel didn't think about that. Abel said, yeah, I'm going to give the Lord all these things, for the Lord has created me to live. Okay, to have a peaceful life, to lead a good life. So I'm going to give the Lord everything I can, and all my might with it. But Esau was not so. Okay, that's why he's now today Esau Edom. Well, Cain was not so like it. That's why today he is now Esau Edom. It says, he professeth to have the knowledge of YAHAWASHI, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. Who do they think they're talking about, these Edomites? They're talking about Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He was made to reprove our thoughts. All right? We were made righteous, and they were made wicked. The Lord say what? He maketh he make vessels fitted to wrath, and he make vessels of righteousness. Okay? He can do what he wants, and he does it for his pleasure. They just happen to be the vessels fitted to wrath. All right? It says, he is grievous unto us even to behold. So they hate to even look at us. It says, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. What the scriptures say, Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So Jacob had all the talents, man. Okay? Jacob was very warming. Okay, he was good in the kitchen, good with music. Okay, good at keeping the house up. All right, good at all these, at all the goodly things. Esau was a man of death and destruction. He just had a thing for killing and trapping and snaring. Okay, but Jake was chilling, man. It says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. So we stay away from Esau's ways as from filthiness. Now look, now that we in the hands of our enemies, they treat us like our ways are filthiness, and they pay our people to sell out against us, and to keep us and to make music to our children, to the youth, to keep us under that curse of just remaining in the filthy ways of wickedness, killing each other, spoiling each other, destroying each other. All right, always got a chip on our shoulders. All right, and this is how the world views us. They view us as criminals, okay, as thieves, natural born. You can't really blame the heathen when they come over here from their countries and they be treating us as such a way. There was a video I saw where a woman asked an African that was from Africa, how does he see Jake from America? And he says, criminals, as thieves, as murderers, as pimps. You don't care about your woman and all that stuff, man. And he said he sees the woman as harlots, prostitutes. Okay? So these other nations are being fed the same bullshit that Jake being fed, man. Okay? And Jake ain't even in the know. It says, he pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh Bashim is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. Okay? So, here it is. They have brought all these things upon us. Alright, and they want to see if the Lord going to protect us from these devils. And the Lord will. Okay, they have spent billions of dollars to keep these things hidden from us, yet it's still leaked out. That means the Lord still loves his people. That means the Lord is still coming for his people. That means these devils are going to have to pay for what they've done to us. And they know it. They know it to be true. Okay? Well, with that, I truly hope this lesson was edifying to your argument, our wrath, listen to truth and sincerity. So next time, I give all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.